nice, right? So 4 tribes you see here that the African them have, Negroes looking like them, but there is not one of them. It's a different race of people, right? You see the African and them putting that disc in the lip and all kind, you know them thing, and the cutting up the skin and all them thing, right? Taking cow pee and laying cow pee on the head and thing, right? So you just wake up in the morning and say, I wonder which cow ready to pee there. Let me go and check which cow. Well, they watch it, let me see which cow pee and go and lay a cow pee on your head. Just feel for cow pee on your face. So then, if it is we don't carry the same traits as these people and them, how we is the same as them? But the Indians in Trinidad here, every year, you see the whole and whatever prayers thing, they do the same thing similar to what the people do, right? The Chinese and them in the grocery, you all see they have a little thing like in a corner doing whatever, phobia thing or whatever nonsense they're doing, right? You see people in China doing the same thing. White man come in here and interfere in the church just like all the same white man interfere in China across there, right? And all over the world, right? Everybody doing the same traits of what the nation of people do, right? These are people like to be home. We like to look good. We like to rock back in cool little places. Just like the brother did, lying down and sleeping in a cool, nice, comfortable place. You open but you understand? So that is how we people like to be. There are difference between we and them. Right? But we grew up hearing that we is African people and we this and we that. Right? When you go in Africa, you know what it's called? It's called akata. You know what akata means? I'm trying to look that up. Akata means cotton picker, nigger. That means the ones who sell people that look similar to them into slave to the hands of the white man and slave. You understand? So we can't go around calling ourselves something that is not. Because when it, what is it? You'll see so-called black men like yourself, right? Say 5, 6 are we walking, right? And then you see an African man walking. You go see by what you're nigga and man, but when they walk, you see the African, you see the African going. How come they don't distinguish the African from the if we is the same people that you see we just do it and don't yourself know what it is we do it. Right? But when you say African, you say he from African devil. But anything watch how much African on that people. So-called African and the one if you how come you pick out, hey, you see the one with the thing with little tallish and the head kind of shape little thing that African up. But I thought everybody there is African. We just do it and they themselves know we do it. You understand? So we have to understand who we is as a nation of people. Right? And we will bring that out the kids. Let's read out 2-3 minutes. This Bible thing will show in the Bible who we is. Right? So come on.
Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy 1 and 1. So we see in the Bible who Deuteronomy itself talking to, right? If it's talking to everybody, if it's talking to a group of people, or if it's talking to one man alone.
Right, so this Deuteronomy 1 and verse 1. It says, these be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto everybody.
Unto all Israel.
Read that again from the top, I feel like I hear it properly.
Right, Deuteronomy 1 and 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness.
Right, so this is what Moses was teaching. Right, he was talking to a nation of people, which is Israel, the Israelites and them. He wasn't talking to the Chinese man down the road. He wasn't talking to Lisa from Mohab or one of them tribe and them in Chinese or Indian and them, right? He was talking to Deuteronomy was written to the Israelites and them. Right? So go to 28 and verse 1.
So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right, so Moses say, if it is the Israelites and them, now what you going to tell me who this is, who we reading about, right? What nation of people fit these things, right? So he said, if the Israelites and them keep the commandments, right? He going to put them above everybody else, every nation, above the Chinese, the white man, the Syrian, it could be who, right? But if it is the dualist, it's going to be under everybody else, right? Remember we reading about the Israelites here, right? We reading about nigga Tom from down Henry Street and Vita Avenue, right? Right. It's Israelites reading about, right? So you see from 1 to 14 is showing you if it is Israelites and them keep the commandments of God, he going to bless them. How you going to bless them? Them go are the richest. They go have all the high-rise building. They go be driving in nice car, go to the gym, everything, right? And the other nations go working for them, right? So we are just like Sesame Street, one of these things just doesn't belong here. I think long time you seen that, right? So what do belong, we go in and take it out and see, well, here going on. Them go fit this, right? And this people here is who fit this, right? So this is Deuteronomy 20, read down verse 15.
So verse 15, it says, But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto
But
the...
it shall come to pass if thou meaning the Israelites and them, will not hearken, meaning if they wouldn't listen. And by tell them from 1 to 14, if you listen, you got dominion over everything. You will be controlling everything. All the land is all your own. The cars, money, riches, everything, gold, everything, right? You're going to be running the face of the earth, right? Right? That's if they listen. But reading here now, if they don't listen.
Right, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
A curse is a good thing or a bad thing? A bad thing, eh? I can say, our curses, I say, but when them now you man thing in there, you fall and break your foot. That curse I put on them, right? I saw me wishing evil and bad on, wicked on somebody, right? Right, so a curse is a bad thing. So the most I say, if Israel do not keep the commandments, they're going to be cursed. Continue reading.
And verse 16 says, Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Right, so there will be cursed in the city and cursed in the field. Ask our question. How we people living in the cities and we living anywhere we go? How we just live? We on top, we own them high-rise building and thing there. We are the best set of jobs, you know, we furthermore we instead no jobs. We creating jobs and giving people, or we working for people. Right, so that means that is one distinction there, right? That we not on top, right? But we remember the Israelites and them, right? Verse 32. I'll go to 32, right? Thy son and thy daughter shall be given unto another people. Thine eye shall look and fail with longing for them all day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand, right? How we people come to Trinidad here? By slavery, right? So a nation of people, take we people, so we had no might to save the children, the wife, nobody at all, right? Then let's take we up and carry we to wherever they want. All the Caribbean, all over the world, the Americans, all them places and them, and put we in slavery, right? Right, remember this is the Israelites you're reading about here, right? Yeah. Right, so how we people live with one another?
Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yeah. So the majority of, yeah brother. So the majority of how we people, how does live with one another? Good, or have a hatred, or have a love towards one another, or what does it?
Live good sometimes and carry ups and downs.
But the majority of the time, how we just live with one another? I hatred them. Watch out brother across the by them feel like he kill this and he that and he thing and he feel better than you, and you understand? And all of, you yourself know the man, and all of a sudden you have a problem with him and he have a problem with you, and who you watching so by so yeah, right? Where's that one by? And that's how people just move with one another, right? Oh, you see a man with a shoes thing, but you know, you feel like you think because you have a shoe, I sure that a bootleg on your foot right there. You don't say, you yourself know where this man come from. You yourself know if the man comes with a job to help you reach somewhere or wherever it is, right? All of a sudden you just hate him just so. What is the reason you don't know and he don't understand why you hate him? Right? Read 54.
So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 54. So it says, So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children which he shall leave.
Right, so it says, so that the man that is tender among you, just like how we people used to live long time, right? But I love, I see you going on the road there. I say, boy, wait, I go jump that road, boy. Lost my money there, but I from a distance, you yourself know I wrong, right? So it's not to say like you pretending to catch me now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Right? So I now see, well, hey, but like that man going to shoot something. I run out here, so I take my last and give you. I go say, you're going on. During the course of the day, some God will bless me back and I will get passage to go home. I'm making sure you go home.
Yeah.
You understand? That's a formal what? A formal love right here, right?
Yeah.
For a brother that you know in need. The brother might be going to an interview to get work to feed the family. You understand? So you take your last and you give it without thinking about somebody who gave you all you saying in your mind with faith that the Most High will bless you again, and you understand you're going to reach home somehow. Even if you had to borrow it from the boss to reach home or whatever it is, right? You know how you go reach home. But this brother don't say no how you reach into the interview. You understand? But without thinking twice, you help the brother out. Right? 54 again, right? So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, meaning we are a love towards one another, right? His eye shall be evil towards his brother. Now we see that man, like I did miss me that time now, right? Oh yeah, reach like that now, my good boyfriend. Man look for what? Right? That's the first thing we people say, right? But man look for, but it's a working man going to look for. But we so have an evil eye towards one another. We can see that, you know, we trying to pull along one another instead of helping one another. Remember, it's the Israelites we're reading about here, right? But we see that we people fit in exactly what it is we're reading about, right? Right? The brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. We ain't saying that all the other nations and them go leave the China. But who known for leaving the China and just making China and on the block smoking a weed? And you think I'm so on your China home and you, who known for that? The Indians, the white man, Chinese, whoever it is, or the so-called black man, which one? So-called black man, right? Because we prone for doing them things, right? So it's showing you here that this will be one of the curses that will be on Israelites and them, right? Keep in mind that we're reading about the Israelites, not the nigger, not the colored man, not the whoever it is, right? So we're trying to figure out now if it's the white man, the Chinese man doing it, or whoever it is this talking to, right? Right, so we go down to verse 56.
So this verse 64, 56.
Yeah, 56.
It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter.
Right, so not even we women long time, they wanted to come out of the house to walk around on dirt and filth and things, right? But they're showing you now that she going and have a hatred towards she man who known for sleeping around and whatever. What race a woman? Black woman, right? She go in a Tom, Dick, Harry, sleeping with your friend, all them different things, right? All this is a curse that the Most High say. He going and put on the Israelites if they don't keep the law, statute, and commandments, right? So far, who it is we see fitting all these curses and we're reading about so far? One nation of people. What type of people? We people, right? Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, right? So, people and them who's the Israelites are going and start again, put in slavery and scattered throughout all the corners of the earth, 4 corners of the earth, amongst all other nations of people, right? And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, just like we were talking about earlier on. And set our false God, Krishna and Pushna, and them shipping this thing with us straight away in 2020 with the COVID, right? They shall serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone, right? So the Israelites will get put into slavery and scattered through the 4 corners of the earth. Alright, we need some niggas down in Trinidad, them working, planting up cane and wherever it is. We need some in Jamaica, seeing about wood and tilting the soil and things to plant wherever it is. We need some wherever it is, you understand? And that's how they had the Israelites and them, right? But a similar nation of people, and a similar, one nation of people that know the history, know they went through that, right? Now we're going to be calling themselves by a different name. We call myself niggers, Negro. All kind of dotishness, you understand? Black man, colored man. Or you use a black or use a colored man, you use a iguana or some kind of thing. You have to change color and then after you're watching your neck is green and the back of your neck purple and you're turning your shoulder red and right over here. So then why we just continue our trend of calling ourselves by a name that we don't fit. Right? Because they come like this. There's a son or a daughter you have.
A son and a daughter.
Right, they come like this, right? You ain't want no man to want to raise up a daughter and you ain't a man calling your daughter who or this thing and all them to that dotishness and thing, right? But you know that is not the child that you raise, you understand? So you don't want to hear that. So if the most I raise we are, right? Why we want to hear other nations calling, because I had to say we want to hear it because we now calling ourselves the same thing. You understand? We don't say we is black people, we is niggers, we is Negro, we is any kind of dotishness, black. Right? When you look at thing black, like the stand for the camera black, right? Your boots black. All the skin tone and the boots is the same color. If you have food to eat and the color of your boots, you're going to need it. Somebody bring on some bun thing and it's black for you. And tell you, well, boy, here is your pizza, $40 a slice. And bring in bun food for you, you're going to need that because remember you black, so you're eating things that will enhance your blackness. That's what you're going to eat. Why you going to eat it? Because you ain't good then. So if when you calling yourself black, that means you ain't got the same way to it. So why you call yourself something that you wouldn't sit down on a, if you put it on a plate, you ain't eat. But you wouldn't feed it to any same thing or give it to any same thing. But black is just a color in a crayon box in a bag. Now you calling yourself black, so you supposed to, well, why you don't make a big crayon box and sit down inside it or stand up inside it? Since you use just a color. Nobody else will call himself a color. The white man will just say he white because white means purity. You look at black, that black magic. Black, you see a black cat, you see I forget what it's called that, the black cat and whatever it is, right? All these things are a form of witchcraft. So when other nations and people looking at me, you know, if nobody don't want to be around, right? We don't even want to be around the whole self. That's how bad we are. But you understand what I'm saying? You understand? To read when I talk about we go serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Right? What I mean? Serving other gods, even wood and stone. Right. What is right? The wood we talk about is them crosses and them what you see in the churches and them.
Yeah.
Now we're going to start to follow after religion. We didn't know when Christ was walking the face of the earth, we supposed to be Christ like that. Name a religion that had on the face of the earth when he was walking the face of the earth. Before slavery, what religion it had? Name one thing. Never had none, right? So then now, when we go into slavery, we will be serving what? Wood and stone. Stone, what are you talking about? You have any idea what you're talking about?
Statues?
Huh?
Statues?
No, them big covers, the big cover stone what they have in Mecca.
Oh, yeah.
Them Muslim bowing down and
Yeah.
kissing and doing all kind of dotishness too. And fighting and jumping up on one another just to go and pray on or kiss a big stone. Right? So you telling me I could Father Lord this, that, Allah Akbar, beat that thing and go and kiss that whole tire outside it? That making sense?
And so like, yeah, that's a quick point. It's also going into that way you said too, because if you realize, right, you see a lot of Rasta walking around with this Pharaoh cross with wood and thing and stone and thing. Even we people as look for Hinduism and, you know, worship them stone idols too, so I extend too.
Right? We see all these people that run behind these that dotishness. So you telling me if they say at all, piece of stone rub off from Mecca fall and rub on them tires and them whole tire where you see them, we supposed to run and kiss that tire, but the tire again, you know, you know how much dog filth and thing that machine you road already? They running the kiss to them. So it don't make no sense. Okay. Right? So then that's showing you that we're not supposed to be following religion. Religion is man-made. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the last one here, right?
Yeah.
And the Lord, this verse 68, Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt, when we was in, we people, well, the Israelites, when they was in Egypt, what they was doing in Egypt? On that field?
Slaves.
So slaves, right? Right, so, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. How we people come here? Slave ship, huh?
Yeah.
What kind of ship you was? On a cruise ship? You was on some kind of yacht? A slave ship, right? Alright, ships. By the way whereof I speak unto thee, say exactly how God say, you going and go on that. That's how we end up on it, right? Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. This buy talking about, yes, the buy we in slavery. White man buys slaves from the African and them, right? But this buy we're talking about at the end here, meaning no, the, you know, take you back out, go free you from your captivity, right? But it be in the same land are we captivity.
Yeah.
So we had to drop off them niggas and them down in Trinidad, them niggas in Trinidad still there. They're still in Tobago, still in Jamaica, Venezuela, all these different places, right? Right? So that means if it is we people went through slavery as the Israelites and them went through it here, right? And the Israelites remain come off the slave ships as slaves, right? They put them in slavery, right? They make train till we appear here. What type of people we is? But what type of people reading about it?
That's right.
Right, so if we went through this same thing with the Israelites and them went through, right? Exact thing that them went through. Them went through slavery till the grandchildren, the ancestors, well, you know, I mean, the great grandchildren and the future and all them things. Turn out to be we parents and end up here. Who we is? Israelites, right? You would agree with that, right? But what we read in here, that's the history that we now read about, right? So that is who we is, brother. We's not a nigger. He's not a wetback and all them that dotishness thing and colored man and black man and thing. We is Israelites of the Bible because we fit exactly what the Israelites went through. Right? And when they come like this, if a Chinese man, right, say back in slavery days, he make train, the party in slavery, and he make train, and you go and you see a Chinese man today, you say, and say them was the Israelites. Because you know, the first thing you want to say, look at Israelites walking there and doing some no who is. But for we, when we do here, we are the but the Bible tells you in Matthew 15 verse, what's it say? Let me go there. Matthew 15 verse 24, right? I'll go to Matthew 18, right? And verse 11. Tell you, for the Son of Man is come to save that which is lost, was lost. Right? Like how I wake up to who I is now and I show you who he is, right? You was lost. If you keep the information, it was lost. Now you know who he is. You have a better idea who he is now, right? Same thing with you, right? Right. So we was lost. But remember it says the Son of Man, which is Christ himself, come to save them that was lost. He didn't come to save the Chinese man, he ain't lost. These who put we in slavery. White man put we in slavery. The Africans sell we to them in slavery, right? So Matthew 15 and verse 24. So remember he come to save that which is lost, right? But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So Christ come to save the lost ones, that was Israelites and them. Not everybody on the face of the earth. Not the Indian man you see walking the street. Not the Indian woman in the dhoti and thing and push and talking madness. He didn't come to them. He come to one particular nation of people, which is we people. You understand? Because it had no verse in the Bible a man could pull and show me where Christ went and teaching to the other nations of people. That's not making no sense, pardon. Right? So we have to understand that we come from a royal nation of people, and we can't just treat ourselves because we might be in a low down grade work and whatever it is. Saying, well, alright, well, I just how it is and thing whatever it is. No. One day we will come out of this, then it will be tomorrow or next week. Right? We know things will take time. Right? But how to come out of it, we have to come back to the word of God. That's the only way. Because if we break the commandments and that puts we under the punishment of the Most High, right? When truly curses on them, right? Or we had to come back to the Most High. Not by turning that leaf over and, you know. Because first we was eating out everything on top of the leaf, and that is what caused we to leaf to turn over, right? Right, we eating, what I mean is like, leaf is everybody, and we eating from these other nations, and we taking all the information and want to live like them, right? All we had to do now, turn around the leaf for the next time. That looking back the words of the Most High, then back on the Bible, the word of God, which is life itself, right? And cast off what it is we know about these other nations. But them things what have we always, you know, we didn't know who we is, we didn't know that we better than them. But by telling Deuteronomy 28:1, if we keep the commandments, we will be above everybody. From 15 on down, we will be cursed if we don't keep it. What shall we live in? What you kind of work we doing and thing? We slaving out for the other nation, and check it out like this, right? You get paid today, by the time tomorrow, you ain't really have no money, just holding on to passes to go to work and all them. You understand? You can barely give a child something. What you clothes will we wearing? You understand? But yet still when we have 100 in the pocket somehow we, and I just now we foot here by yeah, you know, daisy life I telling you, I know I telling you 2 days life and thing, and you feel like you in nothing. You in nothing because we can't walk into no car place if we say in a worldly, we thinking on a worldly aspect. We can't walk into no, say they selling brand new cars. Take out a Mercedes Benz on it. You can't say buy the engine for the Benz. You understand? But when we have a little small car on the road, we feel it's the best and thing whatever it is. We can't study material things, brother. What we have to study is how to come back to the word of God, how to serve God and who He is and who we is as a nation of people. Right, King? Right, so when you have internet,
Yeah, what I watching here, so
yeah,
it's scan.
scan here, and it was we go be on the Trinidad thing, right? But we have brothers in America, all over the place, and in England and all them places and them, teaching the same thing, right? Showing who we is as a nation of people. Right, so we can't live the same way and say that how we doing good. And I'm making no sense. Check it out. We voting for people to put them in office, for them to do good for we. And what are they? They're promising one set of things and then they're going back on the promises. When you look in America, people vote for Trump, thinking that he's going to help them. What is going on? The man turned around everything. Now he the same man vote for him. You're back on a plane getting deported. And nothing take away everything. No food stamp. People can't eat. Finding money to feed, to give other nations, but you can't feed your own people. But these is people who we running and voting for, right? Not knowing that the word of God saying we shouldn't be on no voting thing. We supposed to look for a man that know the word of God and come and find out about how to serve God. That is what we supposed to do. Not run to vote and want some nonsense and then after don't vote. What we have to do? Right? So it's not making sense. So we have to understand the purpose is to do what? Serve God, understand that here going on. We have a greater responsibility, which is to bring up the youths and them, and people are wrong with that. Is we people to the truth. Right, King? So, enjoy the rest of the day, right, King?
Yeah, man. Good time.
Yeah, bro.